Hello, welcome back to Shy's Long Con. This will be episode 8, and the title for today is
We didn't think about
Mother-in-Laws.
mother-in-laws.
Yeah, it's a generic.
Okay.
Or maybe we can come up with a different title. That's my best guess. My brain not in a functioning state to actually be what's it called?
Creative.
Innovative.
That's what I said, but different.
Mine was smarter sounding, so I had to use it.
That's
But
fair.
with me today, if you couldn't guess, is my co-host, Henry.
Hi,
And of course, me, because I'm the center of attention,
Cheyenne.
is the host, Cheyenne.
Well,
I don't know if you missed him or not, but he was gone for 2 episodes.
I was in the room. I was watching, but I didn't speak up because I'm respectful like that.
Yeah, he's just a silent bystander. You know those kinds, right?
Wow, the way you framed that was really rude. Silent bystander. I speak up when necessary, but I know my place. And so should
Exactly.
you, listener at home. I'm kidding. I love you, listener at home. Never listen to that. Speak up for yourself, baby. Mwah.
Don't call him baby. What the heck?
You're right. That was
That's
quite
an
inappropriate.
exclusive title.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What's another word for we don't have like a flock name,
Like,
like Jayhawks are Hawkers or some bullshit. I don't remember.
you can call them our little munchers.
That is awful. You know the kind of you know what a munch is, right?
People who are high?
No.
No. I don't know.
You can look that up in Urban Dictionary later, but let's not call them munchers. I don't know. Let's call them
What about
accomplices.
munchkins?
Munchkins? Okay, that's cuter. That also has different implications because Munchkins is a reference to something. It's also a board game. What
Is
does?
it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. That's kidding, right?
Oh.
Do you know?
So according to the Urban Dictionary entries in slang usage, munchers can refer to someone who eats noisily or someone obsessed with another person, depending on the specific context. It's also part of the derogatory term for lesbian. That's not very nice.
Oh, I didn't know it was derogatory for lesbians. I thought a munch was just someone who was like only ate pussy.
It does also have that too.
That's what I thought.
Wait 1 minute. Was that a minute in? Yeah, okay.
hmm
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Munchkins.
Oh yeah, that's just a child or a short person, which I feel like is kind of, I don't want to say
Perfect.
demeaning. What? Listeners at home are not always
The
children
McKinley
or short
Munchkin.
people. Some of these
An
listeners are
affectionate
6 foot
pet
2.
name used for one's girlfriend and or partner who is playfully mischievous and cheeky.
So isn't that the same issue, just in a different manner? Can't call them babies because that's a partner term.
But like I'm using it in the way of we're telling stories and they're munching on our stories. They're consuming it. So consuming can be put into eating and eating can be called munching on food. So they're my little munchkins.
For listeners at home, I am shaking my head right now. Yeah, I won't let you. I will fight for you. I will not let this title define you.
I
I,
I think the title Munchkin is a cute pet name.
and that's so wonderful that you think that. That's awesome.
My cute little Munchkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's an issue with that, and no one usually comments, so they won't say it either. Yeah, I'm
Well,
throwing this shade back at you.
like Goku, I need all of you to raise your hands to the sky, and I need you to get into the comments, and I need you to fight this. I need you to come up with ideas that are better than Munchers.
No, it's not Munchers. Excuse you. It's Munchkins.
What she said. You got to fight against it. You need to unify, you need to advocate for yourselves. You cannot lay down and take this.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm calling them. You're not on the side of the listeners. You're just on the side of whatever pleases you. You
We can
don't
make a
even have a
poll.
good name for them.
I actually had a great name because our podcast is called Shy Shy's Long Con, as if it's like a long. I know it's long for long conversation, but long con sounds like we're having a long plan for the heist, and so we could call them accomplices, which I think is fun and it makes it feel like they're like they're part of the team.
That's fair, but also story munchkins are also a way to include them being like, yeah, you're listening to our stories. Of course you're like eating along with me because I'm consuming this.
That's fair. Let's make it a poll so we can let the people who actually care for this decide. Does that make sense?
It'll be a poll that doesn't disappear with time. So if people come back to watch it, if they haven't voted before, they can vote it again.
I like that idea.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
don't know if we can do a non-time allotted one, but it'll be a long time.
In the next episode, I'm gonna come in with a suit and a tie, and I'm gonna be like a fucking politician. Like we're heading the polls. Accomplishes, we're doing well. Little munchkins, they're not cool. They're not fun. They're not creative or clever. Foolish idea. I'm being really mean.
Really? Because I thought mine was more creative than yours. Because you were just like, Elon Khan.
Accomplishes.
Accomplices.
I think that is
And
clever.
I went down loopholes to get to mine, which I think is more creative and thoughtful.
It's following the logic that troubles me. But that's okay. It's not up to us to decide
What do
anymore.
you mean following the logic? It follows logic.
It's making a lot of assumptions about our viewers that they're all little short little guy cuties.
No, little
Mhm.
is a term of endearment.
Sometimes.
I'm using it as a term for endearment, so and it doesn't little doesn't have to be included. Munchkins is just the name, their name.
Lo-
It's like YN. Like
Munchkins does mean little or short person or children, which are usually
I
short.
told you that's not the definition I'm using. The definition I'm using is story consumers.
Like a reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the listening audience.
Okay, we are going way too long on
Yeah,
this
we,
little
we fought over
argument.
this. It's not in our hands anyway. All right. Do you want to wait? Did we even say the topic of the story, like of the
Something
episode?
about mother-in-law
That's right.
stories.
We did start that as the episode title, and I thought like,
What do you want me to do?
we'll come up with it later.
Parents, parented.
Parent.
Or what about parentage?
It's always the title that you come is always so direct, and I really do appreciate that.
I'm sorry, I'm a direct person. I've been told all my life that I'm blunt.
And
What
I
do you
really
want me
like
to
that.
learn some sophistry? Like
Sophistry?
sophistry? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Sophistry?
Yeah, I can't even say that right. Sophistry?
Do you want me to learn some filler words or some fluffy words?
I want you to be able to learn the
Sophistry.
entire language of Latin, and I want you to be able to say it perfectly.
Sophistry.
Sophistry.
I swear to goodness gracious, it's not sophistry.
We are getting so distracted so quickly. Okay, so do you here rock paper scissors to see who goes first? Rock paper scissors shoot. Ah! I
Loser.
lost. The scissors cut my paper.
Yeah, you thought I'd go for paper. Actually, I usually always go for paper. You should always go for scissors. We just switcherooed.
Yeah, it's
Did
rough.
you think about your move this time?
I actually didn't. That was my problem.
You're right. No thoughts lead you nowhere. So I guess I get to go first.
Yeah.
So the title is Am I the asshole for not letting mother-in-law help with my confinement and insulting my hubby in the process?
Confinement. What do you mean by that?
How would I know? I never read these stories.
We'll get into that. We'll figure it out.
Yes. I, 24F, just had my first baby with my husband, 27M, and in Nigeria. We have this tradition called, I'm gonna butcher this, Amugwo, where either of our moms comes to help out after childbirth. I wanted my mom to come because we have a better dynamic, but my mother-in-law is way more traditional, and we just don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially household stuff. Lately, I've been really struggling postpartum. I don't like being touched. I'm super sensitive to light and sound, and everyone has respected that except my mother in law.
Oh.
We always had a decent relationship, just not when it comes to how things should be done around the house. A few days ago, she called to ask when she should come, and I politely told her I had already asked my mom. She lost it, saying that's not how things are done, that she needed to bond with the baby, that I was being disrespectful, lazy, and keeping her from her grandchild. I corrected her and told her she would see the baby, just not with living with us. She immediately called my husband, but thankfully he backed me up, saying it was my choice since I was the one who gave birth.
Very fair.
Fast forward to the day my mom was supposed to arrive. She was already being so supportive, even telling me I should just let mother in law come for peace sakes, and they could be here together. But I stood my ground to many people in the house. Not even a minute after my mom arrived, mother in law showed up, with father in law and her bags, ready to move in. I told her no, she wasn't staying here. She completely lost it, yelling that I was a bad daughter in law, and even worse mother, and that I wasn't giving my child what he deserved. At that point, I snapped. I told her I didn't want her here because all she'd do was criticize everything I was doing wrong while giving her son a pass for being lazy just like she did with her husband and her other son.
The
I
fuck?
told her she wasn't going to come into my home and make me feel like a maid, and I deserve to be surrounded by people who actually love me, not people who pick and choose when to care. I also said she wasn't going to use my child as a second chance at parenting because she failed the first time. The second the
Oh.
words left my mouth, I regretted them. My
Oh.
husband, who had been so supportive, just looked so hurt and walked away. Mother in law looked like she swallowed a whole duck, and father in law, while understanding that I didn't want her there, and said I didn't have to be so harsh. Now my sister in law and in laws are blowing up my phone, and honestly, I don't even know what to do next. Am I the asshole?
Holy fuck.
she she hit hard with those insults.
Yeah, it's like okay, so like she was like
I have a problem with bluntness. She has my problem.
yeah, like she it's like they shot once at her and then she just started spraying and paying everywhere. It's just like you failed as a mother. My fucking husband sucks and that's your fault. It's like what the
No,
fuck?
I don't think that's what she said. She said,
She said
um,
she failed as a mother because he's a lazy person.
no, she snapped and said, I told her I didn't want her here because all she'd do was criticize everything I was doing wrong while giving her son a pass for being lazy, just like she did with her husband and her other son. She's just so OP's like, I don't want what you let happen for your husband and your other son happen to my husband, who's so supportive and caring for me. She didn't say that directly, but that's how
Yeah.
I'm interpreting it.
I thought he was involved in that statement.
And she also told her she wasn't going to come into her home and make her feel like a maid, and that she deserved to be surrounded by people who actually loved her, not people who pick and choose when to care. And then another thing she said was, she also said she wasn't going to use, sorry, the OP also said she wasn't going to use her, God, I'm messing this up. So OP also said I also said she wasn't going to use my child as a second chance at parenting because she failed the first time. Now, I don't know who she's insulting there, but, it could hit her husband. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just like, I'm going to blast everything I feel about how bad of a parent you are right now and why that's why I'm not welcoming you.
Yeah, like
And it just hit her husband, it hurt everyone in her husband's family, and it directly stabbed the mother in law multiple times.
mhm. Yeah, like that was just listen, I was totally on her side until she just started like just anyone who was like in the crossfire just got hit by the insults.
I'm still
Like
on her side.
no, uh, I think the way she talked about her husband and specifically like how his mom parented him. Like I don't know the dynamic. I don't know the relationship, but I think that would hit rather close to home for me. That would be quite hurtful. And um, I don't know. I think that's not cool. But on the other hand, she kind of made it clear. It's like, listen, you are too much. I do not need you here, nor do I want you here. I have someone to support me already. It's my mom. And she straight up just like tried to bulldoze over that boundary. Not cool, not okay. So I can understand that maybe she was not in the most calm and rational
Yeah,
place.
she's a couple months postpartum. She's
Yes.
not doing well mentally. She's doing the tradition of like having a family member, mother of
Live
the
in.
mom or the mother-in-law live in and help her. She should have the right to choose who comes, and she wanted her mother. That's right. She told the mother-in-law, "No, I do not want you here." And then the mother-in-law blatantly disrespected her into showing up. So I can understand why when she already communicated that she was not welcome here, that when she showed up, she lost all sanity at that point because it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
you just disrespected me. I'm in a bad mental state and I cannot handle you living with me when all you do is throw criticism around.
Yeah, that's true. Because it's not just like, oh, I have to deal with you fucking visiting and being the most criticizing person ever. It's like this is the next like year of my life. Like I would totally get her position of just like, yeah, nothing's too much to make you leave me the fuck alone at this point. Because like I'm gonna need the space, and I know if I don't put my foot down here, I'm not gonna get it.
And honestly, if someone can't respect boundaries, I'm going to assume that they did a bad job at parenting and not giving the proper like
Mm.
respect to other people because it's just like if you yourself can't follow through in being a good person, how am I supposed to expect that your children are good people because you raised them?
I mean, I would hopefully trust my husband to show me that, like, oh, parenting doesn't define you, but like, I also totally get like, you don't seem to have the best relationship with her, and she does not seem to be the most respectful or, you know, understanding person around. So,
And yeah,
yeah.
children aren't direct reflections of their parents, and some are. I'm saying that it'll take a lot more effort for the children of the mother in law to learn how to be a proper human being with how she taught them, especially when she's not a proper human being that disrespects
Proper
boundaries.
human being.
I'm sorry, if you cannot respect boundaries, you are not a person of society.
Yeah, I'll say this: you are very immature if you cannot respect someone's boundaries. To be like, I'm in a rough place. I do not need this right now. And if you hear that and you think, I'm not going to step back, I'm actually going to live with you and criticize you for the next year. Yeah, you need to take some time to self reflect because that shit is not only going to drive you insane, it's going to drive them insane. And it's going to create a lot of conflict and tension for the kid to grow up with.
Yeah, and let me be clear. I do know some people weaponize boundaries. I'm not talking about those selective few. I'm talking about real boundaries that are there for a reason in helping the other person stay sane.
Mhm.
Like, I have this strong boundary that I do not want you here because I'm not in a good mental state to humor you.
Yeah.
I've told you this multiple times every time you've asked, and you still decide to break this boundary after me communicating why.
Hmm. My take on the situation is like, you are a mom who's going through a lot of postpartum issues. Whatever you say goes, quite honestly. I'm going to back you up 100% because like you are going through a lot. My role is to support you as much as possible. Um, that being said, if I was in that kind of mode and then I heard like, oh, my mom's a failure because she failed to raise her children. It's like, I'm one of those children. What the fuck? But I mean, I also understand like she's going through a lot. It's hard to place blame, but it's also, I wouldn't judge anyone for being like, that was incredibly hurtful, you know?
Yeah, no, I can understand what OP said was incredibly hurtful. And I can understand that the mother in law just wants to help and she feels hurt not being invited.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it is her
also,
grandchild,
it
but
is her grandchild, but it's
understood.
also the OP's child.
Yeah,
And the mother trumps the grandparents.
that's very true. And, it's just like, it's not like you're never going to have a connection with your grandchild. It's just the mom needs time. She has been through a lot in the past couple of months. And, like, clearly, your version of support in this scenario, I don't know their traditions or what that includes because I'm not Nigerian. Um, but clearly, if she's asking for space, you kind of have to give it to her,
Right,
at least for some time.
right. And we have a couple updates.
Oh,
I'll go with update one. Can't believe I'm here with an immediate update and things have spiraled. Firstly, I took your guys' advice and explained to my husband that I didn't mean what I said. He asked if I truly think he's lazy, and I told him no, that over the years I've seen how mother-in-law treated brother-in-law's wife and how father-in-law is, that she believes men shouldn't be involved in childcare, and whilst pregnant, I always thought that's how he'd be if she came to stay with us. And in the last 3 days we've been home, I've been a little paranoid, but I do believe that he is a wonderful husband and would be a great father. We have made up and we are now good. On to my update.
Tagging in for the second part of this update. Update. This is from 5 months ago. Sorry if I take a little bit of time on this. I'm going to take it slow and I'm going to be precise. Update. Can't believe I'm here with an immediate update and things have spiraled. Firstly, I took your guys' advice and explained to my husband that I didn't mean what I said. He asked if I truly think he's lazy, and I told him no. That over the years I've seen how mother-in-law treated brother-in-law's wife and how father-in-law is. That she believes men shouldn't be involved in childcare, and whilst pregnant, I always thought that that's how he'd be if she came to stay with us. And in the last 3 days that we've been home, I've been a little paranoid, but I do believe he's a wonderful husband and would be a great father. We made up and we are good. On to my update. Mother-in-law is crazy. Didn't know how crazy she's been, but she refused to leave my house, and it's raining outside as she's staying outside as it has started to rain. That was a lot of raining over and over again. I see the issues here. As it started to rain, and she refused to go with father-in-law to a hotel or something. Strange addition to that, but that's fine. It's not. We're rolling with it. Still, haven't responded to anyone but sister-in-laws. Did text if I wouldn't let her mother come, then she would, and that in itself is even crazier. That my mother-in-law is standing in the rain. My husband has since tried to get her to leave the rain. I feel like I'm having an aneurysm as I read this, but my husband has since tried to get her to leave the rain and leave father-in-law. Leave with father-in-law. Do not leave your partner. Father-in-law asked if they could come in, and now I look like a bad person for not allowing her in. She said she wouldn't leave the rain until we properly welcomed her into the house. Yo, that's classic manipulation. Not cool.
And then the comment below says, let her drown.
Yes. Honestly, real. It's like, I work with a lot of kids, and sometimes it's just like, you know what? Fucking tantrum, and you will have the consequences of that. And I simply do not have the energy to, entertain this anymore, because that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for either a reaction or you're looking for a way to essentially like erode my boundaries through frustrating act after frustrating act. And you really can't let that shit slide. And you also can't reinforce it by being like, okay, fine, you can come in. Because once they have the foot in the door, they're not leaving,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was so fun to read, and I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
it was even funner to listen to.
Yes. For context on why OP said that the mother-in-law failed for the first time is my mother-in-law has 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And sister-in-law is the firstborn, so the girl that she had. She shipped her off to her grandma's house, her own mother-in-law, because she didn't want her around, because she wanted a boy. And sister-in-law and sister-in-law still hasn't really gotten over it, but things are better.
What the fuck? Not okay. It's like, oh, this isn't the child I want. You go away now. You go bye-bye. It's like, no, you can't do that with children. That is
Yeah.
not okay.
And then OP says, I just had a baby girl. Maybe that's why,
I would be so fucking paranoid around this woman.
yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. But there's a second update.
Yay!
Yay! Update 2. Thank you guys for all your lovely comments and not so lovely comments. Firstly, my husband does have boundaries with his mother, but being Nigerian, you have your limits. And it's his mother. He tries to be firm, but also not push her away. But that aside, she finally left with father-in-law after he said he was going to leave her there. My husband found them a hotel and went to check on them, and from what he told me, his mother cursed both him and I, and there was a screaming match. Father-in-law says he's disappointed in us, but says for the sake of peace, Why couldn't we let her stay, even if it's for a week? My husband told his dad they've both done enough, and as per some suggestions threatened, they wouldn't see me or the baby, and that shut her up real quick. I had a talk with sister-in-law, and she said the same thing everyone is saying, for the sake of peace. But I explained she didn't come here peacefully and created a scene. So what exactly has been peaceful about all of this? And her mom didn't come to her house, so why is she pressed about coming to mine? Sister-in-law sighed and hung up. In-laws are also saying for peace because they all know how she is. But for now, I'm okay. My child is okay. My mom's been trying to ease the stress I got, and I received a foot rub from my husband and a really nice soup, and napped for the first time in a long time, lol. When my hubby came back, and we had a good time together with the baby. Okay. When my hubby came back, we had a good time with the baby, so it's all good. Mother-in-law says she's not speaking to anyone, so I think we are in the clear. I'll update again if anything does happen. Thank you guys.
Damn. Well, I don't think you should keep the peace personally, because that's code for yeah, just give in. It's gonna be totally fine. What? The behavior got worse? No way. How did we see this coming? Is it because you gave in to whatever the bully's demands were, and they thought, oh, this behavior is okay and it gets me what I want? Yeah, no, don't let that shit slide. No, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much to comment. Like, she crossed a boundary, of course. OP's gonna mention that and tell her, no, you're not welcome here. And then,
Mhm.
of course, the person who broke the boundary doesn't understand to begin with, and now they're upset. And
Mhm.
it's just a whole mess. Like, just listen to when people say, I don't want to do something. It's that easy.
Yeah.
But the top comment for this, or best comment, as a Nigerian woman, I am incredibly proud of you. I've never understood why any mother in law would insist on doing, I'm gonna butcher this again, omugwo, knowing full well that the entire purpose is to care for the new mother, helping her rest, bond with her baby, and learn how to care for her child. The purpose of omugwo is to allow the new mother to rest, learn how to care for her baby from the older mother, and be pampered. This is her time to recover, not to work, not to be subservient, and certainly not to form good wife, just so her mother-in-law will like her. How do you even expect a mother-in-law to nurse you, cook for you, or let you sleep in when she likely expects you to cater to her instead? The fact that she's already calling you lazy is proof that she never intended to take care of you in the first place. You did exactly what needed to be done, and there is no reason to feel bad about it. You protected your peace and prioritized your recovery, just as you should have. Stand firm in your decision. You made the right one.
Hmm. I totally agree with that. Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my first story
All
of the
right.
four.
Nice. All right. Half
Okay.
an hour in. First story down.
Yeah,
Woo!
we trailed off.
Don't worry. I have a super long post.
Are
So,
you gonna read that one I told you to read?
what?
Is it a mother-in-law one or is it
Yes.
the what's the title?
The title is Mother in Law announced she'll be coming over at 2, but I have a stripper pole in my living room.
Oh, I've heard this story.
I have not.
Nice.
All right. So I'm excited to read it.
It
Oh,
ends well. It's nice.
perfect. All right. This was made 3 years ago. Well, the post was. I don't think the original post was made 3 years ago. Or maybe it was. I don't know. I'm just going to get into it. This is happening as I type this. I'm currently at work until 2:30 and my boyfriend is home. His mother texted him that she'll be with father-in-law and they'll pass by at 2 to bring some lunch. Boyfriend immediately texted me, "Babe, the stripper pole." And so I'm at work laughing, imagining the absolute horror in their faces as she walks in, and the first thing they see is my shiny, beautiful stripper pole. Did I mention that they are very Christian? I'm talking the worst kind. Nothing against Christians, but I don't like extremists of any form, and they use their faith to hurt people. So I texted back, "Fuck it. It's our house. They'll have to live with it. I will definitely update, lol." Update 1. This update has nothing, but I realize I need to let you all know that I'm still alive in case y'all kill me. So I just got off work and I'm on my way home. I texted my boyfriend earlier asking how things are going, and he hasn't replied or even read my text. So your guess is as good as mine. More to come. Update 2, oh my god. I'm in the bedroom typing this right now. I get home and open the door. Tell me right now boyfriend is lying. What? Oh my god. Mother-in-law follows up by saying, he said that he wants to be a stripper. My boyfriend can't contain himself and just turns red and dies of laughter. And I'm standing in my doorway, wide-eyed, confused as fuck. I just say, he's lying and I'm going to go change. And I run into my bedroom and now I'm typing this. I wish I was more clever on my feet. Damn it. Well, anyway, I can hear her asking him why we have it, and I can hear him still laughing. Lol. More to come. All right, update 3. I exit my room. Mother-in-law and father-in-law are just staring at my pole. First thing out of her mouth, if you're tight on money, we can help you. You don't need to do this. It's disgusting. And boyfriend shouldn't be allowing it. Jesus Christ. Okay, so then the OP responds, no, you don't get any VA. It's all gone now. I really thought you were going to fling that at me. Okay, with the continuing on with the story, OP responds, I'm not a stripper. We're good on money. It's good exercise. Father-in-law, then go for a run. That's a stupid excuse. There's so many other things you can do. Boyfriend then responds, have you seen pole dance competitions? It's not stripping, I swear. It's super cool. Boyfriend proceeds to go on YouTube and pulls up a video. Silence. Father-in-law responds, whoa! Can you do that? Oh, he's so sweet. I kind of love that. You know, it's just like, you got to respect the game once you see it. And updating soon, I think they might want to see a dance. Lol. Okay, last update. Okay, this one a full 180, and honestly, we had a lot of fun. We took some time to talk about some issues from the past. If I'm up for it, I'll make a separate post. But for now, it seems as though in-laws, okay, I was surprised why there wasn't a father or a mother. The in-laws are trying to apologize and make amends. After the initial shock and a few videos later, they are now little curious children completely intrigued about They are now little curious children completely intrigued about the possibilities of the pole. So, I showed them. I did a few tricks, and mother-in-law was shrieking in delight. She was so impressed. Then, father-in-law says, I can do that. What a king. He was judgmental, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try this today. And that I got huge respect for that. Q, father-in-law trying to pole dance and killing it, may I add. Mother-in-law was looking at him like he was a snack. It was so funny. That's actually so cute. I kind of love that dynamic. Boyfriend and father-in-law even got into a little competition on who can do the best tricks. After that, my boyfriend pulled out the VR headset and we had them play a bunch of scary games and video games. Oh, this is so cute. This sounds like a wonderful evening. Finally, they got ready to leave and they told us that they had a great time. I still don't trust them, but they were completely different people from the past, and we both get the feeling that they're really trying. I think my boyfriend setting them in their place finally got it through to their heads that their actions were ruining their relationship with us. We're staying hopeful and cautious. Thank you guys for following along, for all the enthusiasm. It made me smile so much. That's the end of the post.
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
It's so sweet.
There's not really much to talk about that one. It's just a really, really good story about what happened and how, once you open your mind to things,
Yeah,
you can have fun.
you can. What was your favorite part of the story?
How the parents, despite their beliefs, had an open mind when listened.
I
And,
like that.
they participated.
They did. They
They
gave it a
they got
try.
rid of some prejudice
Yeah,
and bias.
they tried something scary and they came out on the other side enjoying it. That's so
Yeah.
sweet. I think my favorite part was definitely when she got home and the boyfriend's cover story was, "Oh, I want to be a stripper." That is fucking hilarious. It's like, "Why do you guys have a stripper pole?" Not because my girlfriend thinks it's a cool activity. It's because what's my cover story? I want to be a stripper, and then they're like, "Do you need money? Are you okay?" And it's like, "No, we're good on money. I just want to be a stripper."
Yeah.
It's just like that's so cutie endearing.
I
I
just want to
yeah.
undress for the folks around.
I also it was a really cute moment when the OP said like the mother-in-law was staring at the father-in-law like
Like
they
a
were a
snack.
snack when they were doing the pole dancing. Like, oh, that's
You
always
see,
cute.
this is why pole dancing is so attractive.
It's true. Among many reasons. It's a feat of athleticism, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's
Hmm.
just so amazing, poetic, a
Yeah.
work of art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's up?
yeah. Okay, that was a pretty good. You said
Hmm.
long story. It was actually shorter.
I mean, I was like barreling through it, no time to comment on until we're at the end, you
Yeah,
know.
no. What is the best comment on that one or top?
The top comment is, I love that his excuse for the poll was that he wanted to be a stripper, comedy gold, um, and yeah, that was the top one.
Yeah, no advice needed. This was a great story.
Yeah, I mean
Thanks for sharing.
the top comment was deleted, so we'll never know what they said, but that was
Yeah,
3 years in the past.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, on to my last story.
You got this.
Is would I be the asshole if I continue calling my mother-in-law after my sister-in-law asked me to call her Mrs. Blank 3 years into my marriage?
Mrs. Blank?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a
Or
curse
Mrs.
word?
last name.
Sorry, could you repeat the title real quick? I'm sorry.
The title is confusing, but it says, would I be the asshole if I continue calling my mother-in-law after my sister-in-law asked me to call her Mrs. last name 3 years into my marriage?
I guess it really depends on if you've talked to the person directly and if it's been like, is are you writing this post 3 years into your marriage, or is it like, hey, it's been 17 years since, but like, old habits die hard and you're gonna be Mrs. last name forever. Oh
Mm,
shit, I guess they can't actually say like the last name because that would be de-identified.
yeah, yeah. So I guess I should go ahead with the story because the title is confusing. I don't understand it much.
Hmm.
Like, okay. My sister-in-law and I, my husband, had a disagreement, misunderstanding about something unrelated, and in repairing that, we each asked each other what we could do better. I was expecting the response to be related to the disagreement we had, but instead, she told me I should call my mother-in-law, her mother, by Mrs. last name. This is after 3 years of marriage and calling her by her first name. My mother-in-law and husband never told me what to call her or corrected me at any point since before I've known her to this day. Confused why my sister-in-law thinks it confused why my sister-in-law thinks it's appropriate to request this. It feels like a power play on her part, and I don't want to change how I refer to my mother-in-law when she didn't ask me to. I know I could bring this up with my mother-in-law, but I would prefer to avoid doing so as it's been 3 years. Furthermore, my mother-in-law and I have been through a lot together, and I don't want to refer to her as Mrs. Last Name. My husband and I lived with her for a year during major medical issues on both sides, both hers and mine, and we mutually took care of each other. This just feels like a slap in the face from my sister-in-law. Would I be the asshole if I keep calling her by her first name and pretend my sister-in-law never brought this up?
What's the context on why like that would solve the issues? Like, how could we do better to keep this conflict from happening? Change how you're referring to my mom forever, and break this pattern of behavior that you've had, and make it more impersonal. It's like, how is that productive? I just don't understand how it helps the situation. Like, why would you be the asshole if you didn't? You're, trying to keep your relationship with your mother-in-law, the way it is, or like, on more personal and connected terms.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. It does feel like a power play or like a manipulation tactic. It's just I don't know why. I need more context. I need more updates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need more. Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, Cheyenne.
Oh, ew.
Wow, your name's beautiful. Why'd you go ew?
I don't know.
Mm, mm.
I know my name's beautiful. There is a mini update.
Yay.
Thank you all. The overwhelming answer was to ask her. I decided to muster the courage to do that, but over the holidays. I got a card signed first name. I think that sufficiently settles it for me. I never expected this to engage so many of you, but it seems like something a lot of us can relate to. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. In the words of a fellow r/am I the asshole member, you've been more helpful than the last 3 therapists combined.
Aw, that's actually so sweet.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
the top comment is not the asshole, and I would bring it up to mother-in-law. Hey, I was talking to sister-in-law the other day, and she said I should be calling you Mrs. Jones. I know I've always called you Jill, and it occurred to me that I never asked how you would like me to refer to you. Is it okay if I call you Jill? You never know, she might ask you to call her mom or something, but most likely she'll respond that, of course, you should call her Jill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I like
You
that.
like the last 2 short and sweet stories?
I really do.
On to
Feel
your story.
it's gonna be a little long and it has some trigger warnings.
Oh my gosh, is it the story I told you to read? Or is it a different one? Nice.
It is?
No.
Fuck.
No, that's a good one. You don't have to read the one I told you to read because it's actually not mother-in-law related.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I will read this one. So, the title is My Mother-in-Law Wants to Move In. The trigger warnings are emotional abuse and manipulation, accusations of abuse, squatting, and the most dire and devilish of all, entitlement. Absolutely unacceptable. Okay, the first post was on November 9th, 2023. My 31M wife's 32F mother wants to move in with us. My wife bought a single wide for her and her mother, 3 brothers, all younger, and sister, younger too, back when she was 20-ish. Nothing special, just a place for them all to live where the uh, nothing special, just a fuck me. Nothing special, just a place for them all to live where the lot space was being rented. Fast forward to now, and we finally bought our own place for her and I and our newborn. We've been living alone together for about 3 months now, and it has been heaven. Her sister moved out of the home 2 years ago and rents an apartment. One of her brothers also moved out and lives in a government housing and with his partner and 2 kids. I'm going to reread that again. One of her brothers also moved out and lives in government housing with his partner and 2 kids. Her brothers are 24 and 27. They stayed in that single wide my wife had bought. A couple days ago, the landlord informed them that they needed to move out because he was going to build apartments on the lot. They have 2.5 months to move. My mother-in-law has been asking my wife that she wants to move in with us. The house is in my name due to a credit issue when we purchased the home. Someone in her family used her credit cards and ruined my wife's credit. My wife doesn't want to tell her mom no, but we both agree we don't want her moving in for many reasons. Primarily because we just moved in and have a strong relationship, and I feel her mother would affect that. Plus, I like walking around in my underwear. If I please, as it is our home. She's also super lazy, dirty, a slob, and I know she will never leave. I told my wife that I have no problem telling her that she's not moving in. Am I the asshole for not allowing her a place to live? This next update came a month later on December 27th. I posted about a month and a half ago how my wife and I bought our first house and my mother-in-law showing up one day and saying she's staying the night while I was at work. Night shift. I came home to see her sleeping on the couch. Quick recap. I had discussed with wife that was a weird way to describe that. I'm going to repeat that. Quick recap. I had discussed with wife and she didn't feel comfortable kicking her out as if she tried again, but had no problem with me kicking her out to the curb. Well, she came back about 2 weeks after while I was at work and announced that she was staying the night again. Only this time, she brought her mother along. Didn't ask permission, didn't say anything, just showed up. So wait, now it's not only your mother-in-law, but your grandmother-in-law as well. That is crazy work.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot like strong arming and specifically manipulation because it's like it seems strategic to be when the only person who's comfortable saying no is not in the house.
Right.
Like that's pretty icky. Well, that morning I came home pissed because she came over unannounced while I was away and just made herself at home on my couch again. To top it off, they had a family birthday dinner planned that same evening that they wanted to do at my house, but my wife and I had already said no. Well, I walked in and found three big pots of food that had been cooking overnight, which my wife didn't notice because they began cooking after she went to bed. One reason I knew they were planning on having their party there was because the way my driveway was set up, its last car in has to be the first car out, and she parked in my drive its last car in and has to be the first car out, and she parked in my driveway with room for me to come behind, instead of on the street, meaning she planned on staying for good while I got home from work. I walk in, and the mother in law, all innocent, says, "Good morning," while again sleeping on my couch. I was pissed, but didn't want to blow up on her the first thing, so I said, "What do you think this is, a hotel? What's with the sleepover?" To which she says, "It's because it's a lot more comfortable here than in our apartment." Shares with three adult sons. I proceeded to make myself some dinner, turning on all the lights in our open space kitchen, in the living room area, and pouring myself a drink to make her as uncomfortable as possible. I sat there eating and drinking my drink. Remember, this is my after work time, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Holy fuck. That's right, he does night shifts. While she laid on the couch, visibly looking more and more uncomfortable. After I finished, I grabbed a bunch of dirty dishes she had left and threw them in the sink, and went over to have a conversation with her. I told her that I never wanted her spending the night, this wasn't a hotel, and not to be coming over to make a mess in my kitchen. She could visit her grandkids and daughter whenever she wanted, but could not spend the night, and to respect my house. I then went into my bedroom, where I heard her and her mother get up, pack their shit, and get out. After that, they began a war against me, telling my wife that I kicked them out, told them to never come around, and that they weren't allowed to see our kids. That's straight up a lie. Okay. They went on a weak tirade to my wife, trying to convince her to leave me. She went so far as to tell my wife who we've been. She went so far as to tell my wife, who we've been dating and married for a combined of 12 years, that if she didn't leave me, I would end up being abusive and hit her. What the fuck? To top it off, I found out that they had actually had their bags already waiting in their car, so they were planning on staying with us for 3 months. Oh, okay. It's been a month now, and I have to say, it was so worth it. My in law has been coming over 2 times since then, spending no more than 3 hours combined. Best part is that she's scared of me right now, that I might kick her out again. It's been paradise. Ever since then, she told my wife all those lies, her true colors came out, and my wife's eyes were open to how manipulative mother in law is. I mean, my wife was just in the other room and she already knew what I was going to tell her mom. She heard every word. We just spent Christmas with the family, but came home early to our home and enjoyed family time with just our kids, and it was the best Christmas we've had in a long time.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
yeah. I mean, just like it seems like she just constantly wants to push boundaries, and I really dislike that.
Yeah, so a general synopsis on how mother in laws are when they're naughty mother in laws is the fact that they don't respect boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really much I think about for this story, just like the other two. I think they were quite open and like closed, end of discussion. Like they had a
Yeah.
great ending. I don't see any point of conversing.
Hmm. I will say I do see like a little bit of a red flag with OP's behavior and the way he's talking about this, where it's like, listen, I totally get like wanting to make the person who is invading your living space feel uncomfortable by like, okay, this is what it's going to look like if you live here because this is me immediately after work. I'm taking time to relax. I'm moving about this space as if it is my own place because guess what? It is. Um, but then it's like he starts to like he says like it seems like he's reveling in how the mother-in-law is scared of him, which I think is kind of a little bit of a red flag. Um, but I mean, she was also straight up lying to a mother-in-law to try and sorry, the wife to try and convince her to like straight up leave. And
I
she's
don't
like,
know if reveling is the right word. I think that he realized that when mother-in-law's wary or scared of how he'll be or how like reaction, she actually respects his boundaries and his wife's boundaries because it's looking like, hey, I need to be wary of me getting caught by him because he actually lays down the law.
Yeah,
and I can't push him back like I can my daughter.
that's very true.
And
Yeah.
it's hard because, like, usually in a relationship, like, the boyfriend deals or the husband deals with his side, the wife deals with her side. But, like, when you can't lay strong boundaries that your parents respect, like, sometimes you allow your partner to take it into the hands to reflect both of your stances. And this is what she let her husband do.
That's true.
And it's
Yeah.
just like, my mom's not respecting my boundaries. I've tried to make it clear. I struggle to say no. Can you please say no for us?
Yeah. I guess I'm just trying to be cognizant that we're only getting one side of the story. And like, I think it's specifically the way he wrote it. Like, best part is she is scared of me right now and that I might kick her out again. It's been paradise. And it's like, listen, this is a victory, but it's like, I feel like it's still like, oh, and now she has to like live in this uncomfortable like living situation. Like, I just try to practice empathy for both sides. And I get that the mother-in-law is not in the best place, but I also understand her behavior is not acceptable or okay.
Yeah, no, I understand the practice of empathy. I know the mother-in-law's living situation is not ideal, but her daughter has worked so hard, and it feels like she's just gotten used to taking advantage of that help.
That is very true.
And um,
I mean, yeah, I guess the place they're living was entirely because of the daughter.
and the
Or
only
the,
reason the mother-in-law feels uncomfortable is because of her own decisions.
that's true.
She chose to act like this despite the boundaries they've set. And then he tells her, "No, this is not cool. If you're going to live into my space, and you're not even welcome. I don't want you spending the night. You're more than welcome to visit my family and hang out, but do not expect to have a night to sleep in here. Do not expect to sleep over here. That is one of the clearest boundaries I'm going to set with you." And she didn't respect it.
Yeah, that's
And he
very
made it
true.
clear again, "Hey, I'd love to have you here to come visit us and our children. We're not letting you stay the night though. Do not
Hmm.
expect that from us."
Yeah,
It's just clear set boundaries that the mother-in-law didn't respect, and now she's wary because she broke those boundaries. She broke that trust.
it's very true. And I see a lot of insidiousness in the way she's like acting, where it's like when she like came over the second time to like push the boundary of like, oh, I'm sleeping here. And it's like she was like creating this like big old dinner and like, you know, cookout. It's like, this is where we're gonna do the birthday party. And it's like, so
Did you
not only are you like setting this up so it's like it would socially you would be like reprimanded for like, oh, you kicked us out after we cooked all this food and we set this up for someone's birthday on their special day. And it's like you're purposely trying to maneuver this so you can stay as long as possible so that you can wear down that boundary of like, oh, but we stayed here for this long. What's the issue with staying here now?
Yeah, she tried to guilt trip them by being like,
Hmm.
"But I cooked all this food. Why are you cooking me out? Like, do you
Hmm.
not want to celebrate one of your family members' birthdays? Like, you have the space. I'm
Hmm.
doing all the prep work. All you have to do is offer your house for the day."
Yeah, it's like, well,
And
it's
it's
just
just
the
like,
day for
yeah,
now.
it's just that slight nudge in breaking a boundary. And it's just like, we could have had clear communication, and now you're trying to guilt trip me into doing it because you've already made plans for it. And that's not how it works. You need
Hmm.
to communicate prior, not during.
Yes. I mean, yeah, and it seems like that's entirely what they're trying to do. It's because they know if they communicate prior, they're not going to get what they want. So it's just like better to ask for forgiveness than permission. It's like, no, in this situation, you're invading someone's home space. Like
Yeah,
that is
it's just,
something you have to
this is
ask
a
for
clear
permissions.
boundary that they've made multiple times. You
Hmm.
are aware of this because they've enacted that boundary on you, and you're breaking it with even more force. Like, I don't know what to tell you other than sorry. Like, I understand your situation sucks, and your daughter has helped you out before, so of course you're like, well, she's helped me out before, she's gonna help me out again, right? No.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have to fend for yourself, you have to figure things out in a different way. The equation doesn't always mean the answer will be the same.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
To read some quick, relevant comments before we wrap up this last story. So, we are talking mother in law plus your wife's grandma. So weird as to their expectations. Good on you for drawing the line. Is this a cultural thing that they expect to live in your house? OP says, it was a weird situation. Trying to make a long story short, my wife bought a single wide trailer when she was just 18 for her and her entire family to live in. All they had to do was pay rent on the lot. My wife's mom, grandma, Three bros, one sis lived there. The lot they were renting got sold as they were trying to mooch off my wife again by coming to live here rent free. So yeah, it seems like they have this, pattern of behavior of just like constantly relying on the OP's wife to just like, this is where we go and we need, a good living space.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna try to judge with what I'm about to say, but there's the grandma, there's the mom, there's three sons, and there was a daughter. So six people.
Yes.
And from my understanding, the daughter moved out, so there's three sons, the grandma, and the mom, who are all adults.
Yep, it seems
And
like it.
at that time, they were just paying for a lot. They weren't paying for anything but the lot and the groceries that they consumed.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't save enough money or work on building financial security to the point where if something did happen, they'd be able to deal with it. They
No, it
moved
seems not.
into an apartment. From what I'm understanding is they were like, "Oh shoot, we gotta go away." They moved into an apartment, and because the apartment's not as nice as the house that one of their daughters bought, they decided that, hey, actually, I want to mooch off of you.
It seems like
And
that
it's
is the
just like, you've
case.
been mooching off me this entire time. I bought you a trailer.
When she was
Something
18, by
when
the
she was
way.
18, yeah. So that must have been a lot of money for her.
Yeah.
And they still want more from her. It's just like, no. No, at some point, you need to tell your parents no, and you need to be like, I've already given you so much. I've repaid more than what you've given me in life.
Yeah.
Stop asking for stuff.
I mean, like, what more can I give you for that to be enough when I have been doing it for so long?
I don't want to live with you anymore. I helped you get a house so we wouldn't live together.
Yeah.
Like, what do you not understand?
I also totally get, I mean, I know this is the OP who is not in this family, but he did call the mother-in-law super lazy, dirty, and a slob. And I mean, from her behavior that we've seen, like she did not clean up after herself when she was cooking for the birthday dinner. It's like I not only would I be concerned about like living with that kind of person, but also like what my newborn baby is now having to like see modeled because that's someone who's going to be in their life a lot if they are living with them.
And also, like, is that just how she leaves the house, or is it also her personal hygiene? Because if it's
Hmm.
also her personal hygiene, that puts the baby at even more risk health wise. It's
That's
just like,
true.
do you want to invite someone that could potentially give your baby illnesses more susceptibly?
Yeah.
Because they're not taking proper care of themselves before they handle my child constantly, like day to day, every day. It's like they're gonna make my living environment awful. I'm gonna come in and there's gonna be like 20 dishes, not even in the sink.
Hmm.
The clothes are gonna be all over the place. Like they're not gonna put their trash away. They're not gonna take the trash out of what they make.
Yeah.
There's a lot of consequences when you decide to live with someone.
Yeah. And like, I'm also thinking, and this is an awful possibility, but I hate that I can't put it off the table, but it's like, I can also see her because she clearly has a lot of patterns of emotional manipulation of like trying to build up this connection with the child so that if they ever do have problems, they can use the child as
Right?
emotional leverage so
That's what
you
I
can't
was
kick me
also
out.
thinking. Like, you
Like it's
could
awful.
also use the child as a way to get your way because
Yeah.
it's just like, look at what your mommy and daddy are doing to me. They're trying to kick me out. I won't
Hmm.
have any place to live. This is not how you treat your family. And then your child starts to have negative impressions on you because of the manipulative words that the grandma's putting into the ear. I
Yeah.
am making the mom seem like a bad person. But who knows? She could be a good person, but has this bad habit of relying on her children too much
Yeah.
and
I
crossing boundaries with her children.
Her behavior does not instill within me a sense of trust for her. And I mean, I'm also just trying to think of like how hard it must be as a parent to like set up boundaries and structures and senses of like what is okay and what's not okay when you are also having to constantly work around this other person who if things are not going their way are going to try and like feed into this kid's bad behavior so they think like oh this is like the special connection where I can get whatever I want if grandma's around and so I
Right,
can't be okay if grandma's not around. I'm going to throw a tantrum if anything ever happens to her where she has to move out. Like
right.
I can see that becoming very toxic very quickly and I just I I think I am maybe being a little bit too paranoid about this mom, but I also haven't seen anything of her behavior that would show me like, oh yeah, I can trust you.
And of course, the poster's gonna have some internal bias and try to make themselves seem like the good person, even if they're not. But from what I'm hearing, I'm gonna take this on the one-sided note, is the mom's not respecting the boundaries, and that's that. Like it doesn't matter how it was set. They said, we don't want you to live here, and you keep on trying to push your way here. You have 3 months worth of luggage in your car.
Hmm.
That's not okay. You come in uninvited and I see you after I get off of work.
Hmm.
No notifications, none whatsoever. That's not okay.
No.
No, I'm not going to be happy with you being here. Good morning, my butt.
Yeah. Ta-ta. Leave now.
Like, yeah, no, get
Hmm.
out of here. You had your good night's rest. Like, I didn't even want to give you that. Now leave.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are? This is not your house. This is my house. I put money into it. My wife put money into it, not you. Like,
Hmm.
I make the rules. You are not welcome here to stay the night. Come visit. Don't expect to have a night stay. We're not a hotel.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not paying us to stay here.
I can't imagine like if they let this go on and then it's like a year from now, it's like not only am I having to deal with my child constantly pushing boundaries because of course they do, they're a kid, but also having your mother-in-law who lives with you now doing that as well. That sounds like it would drive me insane.
Yeah, that feeds into bad behaviors that you don't want your children to learn.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you're seeing it constantly modeled. It's like, oh, grandma gets her way if she just like digs in her heels and pushes and just like,
Yeah,
manipulates the situation. I can do that. And it's like, you
yeah.
cannot do that. That's not an okay way to live as an adult.
You know,
Hmm.
and I think the way he's handling it is great because like when his child gets older, he's gonna see how his grandma acts, or they're gonna see how their grandma acts, and they're gonna see how their parents deal with that, and be like, yeah, no, it's not okay to act this way. This is how you should respond to such actions, or this is how we respond to such actions because it's not okay.
Hmm.
Like we set clear boundaries, and if they're not being properly followed, we reinforce those boundaries.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if they're not followed correctly, then we're only reinforcing the behavior that's, pushing our limits, pushing past our boundaries, and, disrespecting us, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that just, yeah, a lot of red flags there. And well, I guess I was being pretty critical about OP for how they were writing it. I think in no way was anything they did in this story wrong, because I think you have to be stern with people who are going to be pushing the boundaries and trying to like, okay, if I can just get an inch from you, I can start to take a mile.
And I also get glee in not humoring the people who push past my boundaries. Yeah, you're gonna do something that makes me uncomfortable. Well, I'm gonna do what I usually do, and if that makes you uncomfortable, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, dang. I would care if you actually cared about my feelings. Such
Hmm.
a shame.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
the
but
irony, the irony. Yeah, no, I'm not kind when it comes to you pushing past my boundaries, especially when I'm tired. I just got off of work. It's been a long day. I'm coming in. I want to relax. I want some time for myself. And I see someone who I told specifically that they were not allowed to stay over at my house expecting to throw a party that morning or that afternoon.
you already
No,
said no to?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, no, that would make me mad to the point where I wouldn't care how they felt. It'd actually make me happy that they were uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like, hey, it's either I do this or I start screaming.
Yeah, yeah. You want me to blow up? No, I'm not gonna blow up. I'm just gonna go about my day. And if that's something that you can't handle, why are you here?
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't invite you. I didn't. Go
no.
away. Like
Yeah.
I'm a little tired, so I'm being less sympathetic. Usually I would see the other side, but also right now I don't want to. I'm
Yeah.
tired. I feel like I'm more in the state of the OP is than I could of the mother-in-law. She has a place she can live. I don't know why, if she's uncomfortable with her living situation, why she doesn't try to figure things around it. And I understand
Yeah.
that some people don't have those opportunities to do that, but they have 5 people living there.
That's true.
3 adult men,
Mm-hmm.
a mom who's probably 50, and the other mom who probably can't work. She's like maybe 70.
Yeah,
And
there's
that
all the
sucks,
pressure.
unfortunate circumstances. But you have to make do with what you have.
Yeah.
And this is not something you have.
No, yeah, it's not
This
something
is
you can
off the
take.
table. You climbing onto the table doesn't make the table yours.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just makes me more likely to push you off the table. So please step down.
Yeah.
Sit down now.
Make me more likely to shove you off my house.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even in the house. You're not even allowed to see the table. We're not giving you anything anymore. Like, it just makes the situation even worse than them being by your side and, offering a place for you to hang out. You could hang out a couple hours there if you're so uncomfortable at home, but don't expect to live there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not your house. It's just a place to visit.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, I think, episode
8.
8. Yeah, episode 8. I don't know what the title is. Mother-in-law, something.
I thought of an awful title
What's
that
the
you can
title?
hear me. So we had the mother-in-law and then we had the grandmother-in-law.
Hmm.
So this is terrible, but we could call it the ball and chains, ball and chains, ball and chain.
Oh my gosh. You just won't get rid of that idea.
It's a funny why. I don't know. I don't think, it's very boomer humor, but I think, once you add the 2 extra ball and chains to the first ball and chain, you get a little bit subversive with it. Could be fun. Could be
Well, we don't
clever.
see any husbands in their lives, so.
You're right. Yeah,
Like,
that's the real ball and
that's
chain.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not really true. So
Yeah. That ball and chain has like a Wrangler jeans
it's a
logo
ball,
on
no
it.
chain.
Yeah. No chain. Well, okay, can you
It's just a
explain that?
weight.
It's just a weight
It's just a weight that's
and
not
nothing
tied to
holding you back.
anyone.
Damn. I'm trying to really, analyze what that metaphor means.
I meant like they're not married, so it's not chained to anyone. They're just a weight.
A husband?
So when you get married, usually it's the husband's joke to be like, "Oh yeah, my wife's the ball and chain. Like I'm chained to this ball of weight."
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's chained. It's just a ball of weight.
Oh, because he doesn't have actually any connections.
Yeah, because they're not
Okay.
married to they don't have a partner. It didn't sound like it.
No,
The last
well,
story.
yes, okay.
The last story.
I think that is true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess that was never really mentioned in
yeah.
that.
It's not applicable.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was other stories
We can just
following that.
call it weight, no ball.
Wait, no ball. Absolutely no ball.
Or yeah, no weight, no chain.
Yeah, wait, no chain. I liked ball better.
I don't know what you want from me. I'm tired. I don't even know if that title's good. Let's just call it Mother.
And that's better? And that's clever?
Oh, well, sometimes cleverness doesn't peak as much as boldness.
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 Boldness. Okay, we can call it parent. I'm kidding.
Yeah, bold mother-in-law.
Bold.
But instead of saying bold, bald.
Bald. What's the opposite of growing on me?
Oh,
uh,
are you getting immune?
um,
Are you fighting against these?
no,
Oh, parasitic moms.
honestly, not a bad
Paramom. What about
yeah,
Peri-Mom?
Pari-Mom,
Parasitic moms, but like
Paramom. So it's
pa-
like
P-A-R-I and then dash mom. Peri-Mom.
yeah, that is how you spell parasite. For a second, I think that's not right. Wait, no, parasite is spelled Parasite, right? E. Sorry, forgot the E at the end.
Parasite?
Parasite.
P-A-R-I-S-I-T-E.
Fuck, you're right. Seldomly am I wrong about spelling, but
Okay.
today I kneel.
You're not, yeah, P-A-R-I dash M-O-M.
All right.
Peri-Mom.
Yeah.
Parasitic moms.
Well, this might be really mean, but we could always say parasites in law. But
Well,
the
I
thing
mean,
is,
some of the stories aren't actually
yeah,
applicable. We're just
right.
talking about like one of them. Actually, two.
Yeah, the one we spent like half an hour on, where
Peri-Mom.
yeah, but also there was that one with like the judgmental Christian people who were just like, actually, I'm gonna learn how to pole dance today, and it's like that was very cute. So I don't want to be judgmental.
We could say parasitic mom and then in parentheses, not all inclusive.
I like that. That has a lot of character to it. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Pari-Moms, not all inclusive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're excluding some.
We're excluding you. All right, I like that. That's just gonna be fun, fun
Yeah,
fun
but thank you
episode.
for joining us for episode 8. I hope you like the tangents because I'm a tangential person.
Especially when we're tired.
I am so tired. I've had to drive so much.
I'm so sorry.
And I was not a good driver.
No? Do you hit some raccoons on the
No,
way?
absolutely not. I did not have any accident of any sort. I was just not a responsible driver. But hey, I made it safely.
That's at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us for episode 8. Like, follow, subscribe, rate. I don't know.
Share with your moms.
Do the things,
Yeah, it's like, you share it with your moms, and then have your mom share it with her friends, and then have her friends share it with their friends, and then we can all start podcasting together, and it'll be like a podcast pyramid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we won't forget the poll about munchkins or a silent
You already forgot about accomplices?
accomplice.
How rude. You thought it was so
What
one
about
note.
assailants?
That's worse, because then they're like victims of us. Does that make sense?
I mean, we are monsters. And there are actually we can
That
call
was
you
a strong we, I would like to say.
You know what? We can call you our Vicks.
You keep on saying alternatives, and all of them, they do not grow on me. That is what I'll say.
What? You're not
Not even in a parasitic way do they grow on me.
Ah, come on.
No,
Come on.
no.
What about our
Familia.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. I'm sorry, fam. I
fam.
let you down today.
Bruh.
The
What about our bros?
bras.
The bros.
Bras.
Bros.
You grabbing your boobs as you say bras. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Boobs. It was one. It was a singular. It was not plural.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah, it was the left one too.
Really love the picture you're painting at home. You like that, little munchkins? Feel
Yeah.
good about that?
My cute little munchkins. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Really think about how me saying little munchkins makes you feel. And
Yeah,
choose
good.
the right one.
It makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside.
A vote for accomplices is a vote for crime. And quite frankly, we need more of crime in this podcast. We need a lot more. It makes more spicy stories. It makes spicier podcast hosts. Listen, in November, we will have the answer that we need for America. And do we want little munchkins representing this podcast? Or do we want accomplices?
Why are you saying November when it's currently September?
There's a lot of time for the polls to roll in, okay?
Yeah, we have like 10 subscribers.
And
It'll be lucky if all of them answer the poll.
And hey, by November, that could be 15 subscribers. Do you see the potential there?
I can see the potential. Also, thank you for subscribing, whoever the number 2+ are.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it made me feel so bashful checking it today for the first time all week. I was like, oh my gosh, people joined. It must be some of Fink's friends. I'm gonna be so honest with you.
That's okay.
Like, that's the highest watched video.
So what you're saying is we need to find someone with connections. Someone who will get new viewers to be brought in.
Someone with good coercion skills.
We need to kidnap John Mulaney.
Who's that?
God damn it. Okay. More next time on Shy Shy's Long Con.
Yes, talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.
You have a good day. Night,
Yeah,
night.
you gonna stop the recording? Yeah, please.
Okay.